Good afternoon, morning, or evening, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It's been a while since I've been on here, probably at least a good year. I've made a couple of videos and content, a couple of them within that year. I'm still trying to get over some things that have been bothering me. Been praying, a lot of personal issues, interpersonal issues, uh, just a lot of battles I've been going through. Um, but maybe I'll address those and maybe I won't. But I'm going to try to reintegrate myself back into the videos and reading the word and posting videos. But I want to be careful with how I transition to do this over the next few months. Um, with that being said, I want to talk about Proverbs 26:11 and 26:21. Let's get into it. It says, "As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly." This is Proverbs 26:11. "As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly." And Proverbs 26:21 states, "As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife." I'm going to read that again. "As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife." Now, these are wise sayings of Solomon. And when I read these, I want to be able to visualize what it is that he's saying because I think it's important. So, when I read these, I think of a dog, and I think of a dog who just recently threw up because he ate too much. And what does he do? He just runs right back to it, and he just needs to eat it. I just got to eat it, eat it, eat it. And it's quite disgusting if you've ever seen that. And what he's saying here is a fool repeats his folly, right? So a fool's going to continue doing the same thing again and again and again, just like a dog returns to his vomit, because a dog, it doesn't know any better. Doesn't know any better. And the fool doesn't know any better either. They think they know better. They think they know what they're doing. They feel like I'm doing right. I've got the right attitude. I've got the right degree. I've got the right chemistry. I got the right algorithm. I got the right uh, ingredients. But they always go back to the foolishness because they don't know any better. And we see this a lot of times with people online or in our lives, as far as supervisors, coworkers, friends, family members, even yourself sometimes. If we're going to be honest, even myself, I may repeat the same foolish things every so often. And I know better, right? I know better than to go eat a bunch of food I'm not supposed to be eating because of allergies, but it's so good. So I go do it. I have some issues. My fault. Nobody else to blame. It's all on me. And then we look at what is a contentious man. A contentious man is an argumentative man, a man that just likes to argue, or a woman. It's a person who loves to argue. They want to argue because they just want to create drama, create strife, create division, create an explosion between two people so they get their satisfaction from that. They get their feel from that. They're like, I did it again. I got him. And he gives the description as a comparison of what that's like. So I have to visualize that again. Again, I like to visualize it and say charcoal is to burning coal and wood to fire. Okay. You can't have one without the other, right? You can't have charcoal without burning coals, and you can't have fire without wood. Because if it's like paper, it'll die out. Wood, the fire needs wood to continue to burn. Charcoal needs the coals to continue to burn. So a contentious man needs arguments to continue to cause strife. And if you don't give that person that opportunity, if you don't give them that chance, if you don't give them that doorway, if you don't give them that availability to start an argument with you, then you take away his ability to infect you with strife. So I just want to give you these two things today, and I feel like it's important. And I think it's really more important for me, and it's more sound for me to read this and understand it and dissect it and digest it and really fester upon this, because I believe that this is where I was uh, for quite some time, and I just kept giving into it. I kept giving into it, kept giving into it, kept giving into it. Um, but I think this is more for me than probably any of you that are online. But just be careful, and we're moving into 2026, and it's just going to get worse. I really believe that before too much longer, we're going to start seeing things that we haven't seen um, ever, ever. And some of it where I live and where I stay, in my neighborhood, I see some of these things. But I think more and more people just want to breed strife. They want to cause strife. They want to cause these arguments because they're unhappy, because they don't know any better. They don't have Jesus, and even if they didn't have Jesus, just they're just really an angry, bitter person. So be careful of these people. Be careful of these individuals. Don't become one of them. It's very easy to do. I've had to step away like I said, I've been gone for quite a few months because I felt like I was getting to the very point that Solomon is talking about here. And because I've got younger people looking up to me, my kids looking up to me, I can't give them that example. It's not a good look. It's not a good example to follow. So I stepped away from being online for a while, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with that. Uh, Not really wanting to discuss it, but this is what has been speaking to me for the last few months, and I thought I would just share it with you. I love you guys. God bless. I'll be praying for you all, and we'll see how I end up feeling over the next few days, few weeks, few months, and we'll see if I continue. And I'll give you guys some updates along the way. All right. I love you guys. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you had fun spending time with your family, um, just fellowshipping with friends and family members as best as you could during the holidays. All right. Love you guys. God bless. Take it easy.